Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic.
Place order has been issued. All staff, please immediately follow the shelter-in-place procedures.
So the time has come, guys, and you guys have been waiting long enough for part 2. So here goes nothing. So here's basically what happened. So there seems to be a misconception with everything going on. Everybody either thinks the audio is not mine, or it's just a drill, or it's fake, or I don't know. There's a million different excuses or reasoning that everybody's trying to give on what's going on because I haven't given a part 2. Well, basically, let's jump right into that. We were sitting in 5th period and everybody was just on their phones and just chilling. Well, we weren't supposed to be on our phones, but you know what's up. And basically, cops arrived on campus. There was like 4 different cop cars that arrived on campus, and there was somebody who came onto our campus. Well, from that point forward, they, you heard over the intercom right there, they were calling a shelter lockdown type thing. Nobody knew what was going on. So the time has come, guys. Answer your guys' questions. Everybody's safe. Everybody's fine. It wasn't a drill. And thank you to everybody who showed a lot of support and prayers in the comments and stuff like that. Like, it means a lot. And this is part 3 and the final part. Our teacher starts freaking out, and she's like trying to go through her pamphlet because she didn't know what they were like announcing over the intercom. Nobody did. So then she eventually realized, okay, it's not a joke. And she's like, everybody calm down. They started locking the doors, closing the blinds. I flew under my desk. I didn't even care. Like, that's just how I am. And next the cops apprehended the suspect, and like it turned out to be all right. Everything was fine. They called it off. But like, I saw a lot of your guys' comments sending a lot of like prayers and positivity our way, and I want to say like that means a lot, and thank you guys all for the support. And answer your guys' questions. Everybody's safe.
Girls, we got.
Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Steve!
Oh my God!
Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
What?
Ayo, something traumatic. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
Bro, what the fuck? My door is actually fucking shut. I'm never opening my mouth ever again. Oh my gosh, that was so scary.
Ayo, something traumatic happened. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
Open it. Just open it.
Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
Texas. Texas.
Ayo, something traumatic happened.
Scuff these Jordans, you can say.
Why are you running? Why are you running?
Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
There she goes.
Ryan's coming to save you!
No, hustle.
Ayo, something traumatic. Ayo, something traumatic. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
We're surprising my brother for his birthday and we're gonna see his reaction. Okay, bring him down. Mike, be careful. Oh my god, Michael! Michael! Oh my god, Michael! Okay, come on! Oh my god, Michael!
Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life. Check.
Fuck, Sam. You're fucking hiding. Please. Oh my god. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. It's my house though. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone.
Ayo, something traumatic happened. Ayo, something traumatic happened that changed my life.
Fuck, Sam! You're fucking hiding there. Have fun. Please. Oh my god. Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. It's my house though. Please leave me alone. Okay, so you can fuck this dude that you want to fuck? Please leave me alone. Please leave. So this is a follow-up video. I'm gonna try and make it quick. It might be more than one part. Long story short was it was my girlfriend at the time. Her and I had gone out drinking with a coworker and my little sister and some other people. And while we were out drinking, she became intoxicated. She did have a drinking problem at the time, and there was some episodes of aggression before, but never to this extent. She got angry about us being out. She just got angry, and we decided to let my coworker and my little sister come and sleep over at our apartment at the time, because my coworker and sister were kind of hitting it off. What ended up happening is my sister went over to her best friend's house, which left my coworker and my girlfriend and I coming back to my apartment, and I'm gonna post part 2 right now, I promise. Part 2 to my other video, we got back with my coworker. My little sister spent the night at her best friend's house, so it was just him with me and my girlfriend. She was being very aggressive. I ended up locking myself in the bathroom with the dogs because she just wasn't acting right. She didn't like that. I have one video of her banging on the bathroom door, and when I wouldn't come out, she grabbed the knife, and I had holes in my door from her stabbing the door, and then she was trying to unlock the door. I showed in my other video how my lock works. I did call the cops. I did call my parents. My parents got here before the cops did. She pulled out the knife, and I heard her fighting verbally with my coworker out here, so he kind of distracted her to pull her away from the bathroom. And when I came out, she cornered me into the corner of my kitchen with the knife up towards me. So let me post part 3 right now. Part 3 was she cornered me into the kitchen with a knife. My coworker was able to come up behind her and grab her and pull her down to the ground. I was able to pull the knife away. I called back for the cops again to let them know the situation. My parents arrived at this point, and I went out to meet them while my coworker continued to kind of hold her down during all of this. The cops came, and she basically said that she didn't want him here because this was her house, and that's what she was saying in the video, is why are you hiding from me? You're trying to sleep with him, or she's trying to F him, and we're just trying to have fun. And that was that scary comment that she made. Cops basically said that they can't do anything because she didn't actually lay a hand on me, even with all the evidence of the videos and everything like that. So I ended up leaving with my parents, and I'll post part 4, which should be the end of this. Part 4 was I left with my parents, left with my friend. I came back the next day with her friends to come and pick her up. She didn't recall anything, of course, because she was intoxicated. We did break up. I allowed her to stay for a little while longer to continue to get her stuff together. She did move out. She no longer lives with me. And we have no more contact with each other. So for the people who were asking, yes, the cops were called. Yes, my parents were called. Yes, the door was locked. This was all because she was drunk and angry, and I am doing okay, so thank you for everybody that has reached out. If you have any other comments or questions, feel free to comment and I will try and respond to them as quickly as possible. So yeah, thank you guys. Part 4 was